All right. I picked up some little balls. Some of you have racket balls. A lot of times they're pretty stiff. These are basically indestructible. You never have to worry about inflating or deflating them. And I probably could get some more, make them available to everybody. We're going to start with this with our feet. So as I was talking to people coming on this morning, we're going to really focus on some specific targeted core. When you're recovering from a knee, do you see what I'm doing right now? I'm swinging my legs through, but I'm going all the way until I get a gentle bend in my toes. Do you see that? Then if I come back, I'll do it a couple of times on one side and then I'll go to the other side. But while I do this, I'm going to throw and catch. So if you have a ball, and if you don't have a ball, I hope you get one. You want to get one that you can squeeze, okay? So I'm staying on one side as I go through, so I'm going to really target core, and hip, not only mobility, but some strength moves, okay? So I'm just swinging through, and if you're barefooted, you want to really feel where you're shifting, okay? When you've had a knee replaced, when you've had a hip replaced, if you have significant, like, oh, my back is tight, be thinking hip mobility and core. Let's address that. And so you see what I'm doing? The shifting in the feet is a big deal. When you're barefooted, yeah, and some of you have arthritis. I knew of one client of mine that had really a lot of arthritis in her feet. And so what do you tend to do? Number one, you tend to go ahead and keep throwing and catching while you're doing this. You tend to not move around as much. You tend to sit a lot more because it's uncomfortable. Okay, you see what I'm doing? See, I'm rolling all the way, so I'm bending those toes. And then as I shift back, I want to say rib cage up. So I've done this several times now on one side as I'm stepping forward, but look at the knee. See that? If you're not thinking about it, many times people just do that. So I don't want to do that because I want to start warming the hips up. And you're saying I know you're saying, how is this warming up hips? When you do this right here and you go all the way up to your toes, as if you were going to take a step, all the structures around your hip, front and back, is a push-pull kind of a thing whenever that you do that. It's a great warm-up, taking that step, but not taking the step. So now I'm going to switch. I'm going to go to the other leg. And what am I going to do? This is the foot that I had every toe broken on because I was doing a corrective surgeries. I couldn't get any shoes on. Okay, see that? And come back. So that shifting alone, this shifting like this and then back, that is a big deal in your knees, your hips, your back, and then stay right on that same side. See how I bend the knee and I go all the way as if I'm going to take a step, as if I'm going to release, but I don't. Okay, so I'm putting a little pressure on those toes in the back and I'm throwing and catching, and I'm going to come back. So as you're doing this move, you say rib cage up, breathe through the nose, and I'm doing repeated step throughs is what I call it. Okay, if you get off, just find your way back. See, it's a repeated step through, and I feel that nice stretch all the way through those toes. Okay, so say rib cage up, throw and catch a couple times. Let these stability and stopping muscles So it's a push-pull in order to walk. See that? So when you do this repeatedly, you are getting down into those joints. You are getting into your back. You're working your balance muscles. Take a big breath. You're putting on the stop, so to speak. See, like this, I stop myself because I would normally just keep going like this. Okay, so take a minute to seriously think about that. I'm staying on this. I just turn so you see what I'm doing. See that? See, instead of taking another step, I'm going to say rib cage up, drop my shoulders, throw and catch, squeeze, and hang out here, and then I'm going to come back. So I can tell you that this hip, this is my non-replaced hip. It's the one that's getting a little tight. And boy, whenever I go into this move, this is such a good move to really let all those structures actually work and get oiled. That's the thing. Now, as I come back like that, I still got these little squeezy balls. So what am I going to do? I'm going to put them in the floor. So you might be saying, well, what if I don't have one of those squeezy balls, Jeannie? And I'm like, you know what? Wad up some newspaper, make a ball. Put a tea towel, tie a tea towel in a big knot. You see what I'm doing? I'm standing and putting pressure on the instep of my foot. See, I'm rolling it to the ball of my foot, and then I roll it and it goes into the instep. So it's kind of like doing a dome with my foot. See that? And I roll it. So whenever I'm doing this kind of work, I have to take pressure off the foot to roll it and then to come back. So what does that make me do on the back leg? I know we don't ever think of that because we're thinking about this front leg. So this back leg is taking all the pressure. So as you're doing that, you're going to take your hands, you're going to roll to that, you're going to go tap, you're going to go tap. See that? So the back foot is in a calf stretch position. I have this ball right up in my instep. Then I roll it back to the ball of my foot. Then I release and roll it back up. Now you're going to be doing one-legged stance, basically. That's the beauty of doing something like this repeatedly. It starts keying up your balance. It starts making you use your feet in ways you've not used them. Okay, so here I am on that ball. It's right in the instep, and I'm acting like I'm going to go forward, but then I don't. So that means that back leg is straight and stretching. And then you bring it back. Then you switch. And as you do this, while you're in this kind of a rolling situation, so see, I put my foot, the ball of my foot goes right on the ball. Then I put this leg back. Okay, now I'm going to turn so you can see what I'm doing. See, I put my foot right on that ball and I go back. So now I'm stretching up through the calf, and I'm not doing the soleus yet. I'm keeping it pretty straight because what am I going to do? I'm going to roll. I'm going to take pressure off the front foot and roll the ball to the instep. And if any of you have plantar fasciitis, careful with this. Okay, now I'm going to roll it back. See, then I'm going to roll it forward, and I'm gently stretching the calf. And I got a lot of pressure on that instep. Then I'm going to roll it back. See that movement that you're doing? You're manipulating this ball and it's squishing. See, it would be hard to do this with a racquetball because it's a little too stiff. That's why a rolled up tea towel works great. So if you don't have one of these balls that squish, Then get a tea towel, roll it up, tie it in a big knot, and then you roll that knot back and forth. See what I'm doing? So in having to do this, and again, engaging the top of your body, the upper part of your body, you go tap and tap, and you just keep doing that. You keep pressing that chin back. See how I'm rolling? Now I'm at the ball of the foot. Now I'm going to roll into the instep. You can totally change your whole foot if you have problem feet by doing specific moves like we're doing. This is called doming. Now I'm not pulling it up. I'm going to do that. I'm trying to get pressure, and I'm trying to get balance work. I'm trying to get shifting ability. So one of the reasons why so many people, so many of us, when we get over a certain age, fall is because we have no ability to shift. See what I'm doing? This whole time I've been doing the very thing that you need to do and practice doing so you can catch yourself, see? So if you over or under balance, you're going to have that feeling of off balance. So your proprioceptive system kicks in and you catch yourself. That's what so many of us don't. We quit practicing to do. See, if I over balance one way or the other, get back on balance. I'm barefooted. I'm rolling a ball from the midfoot to the ball of the foot and then back to the midfoot. I'm putting pressure here, but a lot of pressure is back here. Okay. And I keep working at that. So using a ball in that way is a really good thing for your core, and it starts using your hips in a totally different way than you would normally think. Oh, that's for feet. I'm like, no, it's not. It's for feet, but it's especially to help get our hip and our core up to snuff, so to speak. Okay. I don't know where that expression came from, up to snuff. I had an Aunt Sari. I call her Aunt Sari. She used to dip snuff. I remember it. I'm like, why she got right there in the front of her lip? And it was snuff. I still have her jar of that she had her little snuff in. I don't know if Lisa remembers her. Aunt Sari. Okay, are you ready? So we're going to use our kitchen chair, but a little differently, because we're going to really target hip mobility and core. Not only mobility in your core, but strength in your core. And I'm going to do it from a chair. Yes, I probably will get in the floor today. I'm just telling you that, but don't turn it off. You can do everything pretty much from the chair if you want to. So see, I'm going to just approach the chair like this and then come back. You see that? I'm going to come right here. I'm going to hip hinge, drop my chin. I'm going to shift into those front feet that we just worked on. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go into that toe box, and I'm in what's called a high plank. And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop my shoulders, bend my elbows a little, and I'm going to shift and bring one leg up and put it down. I'm going to shift, drop your elbows, bring one leg up, and put it down. So when I say leg, what I'm saying is when you shift, put all your weight into your hands, basically. And then you just pick your toe up. You don't really lift anything. So this little shift and just bringing your foot off the floor. You don't have to lift it anywhere, really, even though I said lift. Release, that's what I want you to do. Shift, put your hands, make your hands take your whole body weight, elbows bent, tuck them in, and just bring your foot off the floor. And then put it back down. You might count 1,001, 1,002. Big breath, shift, but keep your hands solid and keep the weight coming into your hands, and then put it back. And shift one more time to the other side and put it back. Shift, bring that leg up and put it back. Take a big deep breath. Now we're going to come down to our elbow. I'm going to grab my chair right here. I'm going to come right down gently into my knees. Right here, if you need to, put a pad under your knees. I am fine without it, but most people would like to have a pad under. It could be a garden pad. It could be your little, I'll show you. It could be our little 2-inch deep pad. I don't really need it, but some of you need to have it for your comfort. This has nothing to do with how hard you're working or not, basically, but it feels better on your knee. Okay, so I bring my elbows here. Now we're gonna get right on into the core right now, okay? So I'm holding here, my elbows are in the seat of the chair, and now I want you to really curl those toes under, drop your shoulders. Now I want you to tighten your tummy, and your both knees are gonna come off that little pad. So what does that mean? That means I'm gonna press hard into my toes. I'm gonna press into my elbows, just like that. Like I was gonna get up, but then I don't get up. Then I get up, then I don't get up. Take a breath and exhale. Breath. See, I'm purposely slowing down because I want you to breathe with this, all right? So breathe right now, breathe in, and then push into the elbows with your shoulders down. Tighten your tummy, get those knees up as if you were gonna step in and get up. And then you just hold it a couple of seconds, and then you just put your knees right back on that little pad. Take a breath, in through the nose, right here, right there, and then come back down. Try to keep your chin tucked. Take a breath, drop your shoulders, tighten your tummy, push into the feet and into the elbows. And you're right up here. Then I want you to just act like you're gonna put one down, act like you're gonna put the other down. Breath, breath, one knee, then the other knee. Breath, one knee, then the other knee. Breath, one knee, then the other knee. Just one more. One knee, then the other knee. And then step in, step in, step in. Go back while you're holding on to the back of the chair and push your butt back. Yes, push your butt back. Keep your chin tucked. Then you're gonna reach over with one hand, and about right now, you're gonna straighten the outside leg. So opposite the hand that's reaching. Okie dokie. Push your butt back. Now come back to the center pull. See, I got my hands here and I'm pushing back. Then I take my opposite hand and I go over and cross my other hand and I straighten the opposite leg. You should be getting quite a stretch right here. So this knee is soft. This knee is very straight. Take a big breath. Then come back to center. Grab the back and pull back. Pull back. Keep your hands on the chair. And then come back in to the chair. So right now, you're gonna let your back go way down. This is the cat camel move. You can do it on the floor, but we're doing it off of that big stretch from the chair. So adjust your feet. Make sure you're as wide as the chair legs. We've pulled back. Again, I want you to get that pull. See, I'm pushing back and I'm grabbing forward, keeping my chin tucked. Then I come up and I do a cat camel. So here's the camel. And then I rotate the hip and the pelvic and I totally keep my knees soft and I really bring my shoulders to my ears. Then I push the butt back and I change the whole position of the iliac crest, the pelvic, the hip, okay? And I pull back, take a big deep breath, cat, camel. So I'm gonna go way up into a mad cat, then I'm gonna go way down to a camel. Really let your hip, the iliac crest here has to change position, basically. Take a big breath, in through the nose. And as you're pushing and pulling, keep these knees apart. Don't let them slide under. So I'm doing my camel, then I go back into my cat, my mad cat. Take a big deep breath. And then I'm going to push back and come up. Go slowly so you don't get disoriented. So turn and turn. So this is a little interset of mobility right here. So you're slapping yourself right here. See that? Now, that said, when you turn like this and you slap and you turn and you slap, here's my question. If I came into your room right now where you were doing this with me and you were turning like this, many of you would have your shoulders way up here around your ears. I know. Drop those shoulders, drop the chin, take a breath through your nose, pat. Now drop your shoulders. Come, see how I'm shifting? Now I'm going to shift and turn and slap my hip. Drop your shoulders. Yeah, drop your shoulders. I know it. And then come back. Now let them just swing. Let them just swing. See how I'm turning only around the belly button. I'm not lifting my heels off the ground. I'm turning around the core, right around the belly button. That's my center of turn, okay? Everything else will fall into place. You'll have a little pull on your knees, but at the same time, see, I'm slapping and I'm trying to go a little further each time. Take a breath, keep your tummy tight. Yeah, tummy tight. And you're shifting into one leg, then the other leg. It's that constant shifting. Okay, now, if you want to do this next segment, you can do it on the floor. If you don't want to, you can merely go from your chair. Because what we're going to do is the quadrupede. This is very nicely done from a chair, okay? So you're pretty much parallel with your body to the floor. You want to be able to bring your leg back and just bring your leg up. Okay, you don't necessarily have to keep it straight. Okay, keep pressure. I'm showing you from the chair if you don't want to get on the floor. Because I'm trying to target core. I'm trying to target hip. So I'm going to bring my hand opposite the leg that's up, comes up. I keep my knee here soft and I hold it there. And I go 1, drop, 2, take a breath, drop, 3, drop, and 4. And hold. Hold, 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 hold. Keep your knees soft, don't lock it. And then come back and come back. Take a big breath through your nose. Push your butt back. Do a little bit of a cat camel. See that? So it's just one more opportunity to do a cat camel. Okay? Now I'm going to shift. That's what we were doing at the very beginning of this class. I'm going to shift because I'm going to bring the other leg back. And I don't have to keep it straight. I can bend at the knee, but I want to bring it up. Okay? Whatever hand is opposite the leg that you bring up, That's the hand that's gonna be released and come straight out. Now, right now, it's very important to drop your shoulders, keep your chin tucked, and then breathe. And then come down, tap, and up. Don't go fast. 2, tap, and up. You're gonna have to fight for your balance. That's part of the benefit of this move. So it's generally called a quadruped because we're kind of like moving like a centipede. Okay, keep it up there. Now tighten your tummy, drop your shoulders, hold breath, hold breath, hold breath. Bring it back in and right there. Now go back into the one that we did as we started this whole segment. See, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna push my butt back, grab the back of my chair. So I want a tension. I want to be pushing back as I'm pulling. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so that's how you do it on the chair. Anything else you can do from the chair too. I'm going to go ahead and get down into the floor. You don't have to, but if you can, that would be so good. So I can be doing everything on the chair. So I'm going to take the opportunity to do a side lunge so that I get this inner thigh, the groin, the abductors and adductors in your hip loosened up. See that? So you keep your chin tucked. I'm showing you right where you should be feeling the stretch. Your feet are forward. You're stepping wide. You shift, there's that word again, into the bent knee. This leg is straight, and you should be feeling a pretty good stretch coming right through the groin. You want to hit that stretch maybe twice, which is what we're doing as we are going down. Take a big deep breath, and then come right to here, okay? Now, I'm gonna crawl myself out, bend my knees, and go to the floor, okay? Once you find yourself on all fours in the floor, do not waste that for core strength and mobility, actually. So before we do the targeted core work, again, I could be doing everything here from the chair. I just wouldn't have my knees down. I'd have my toes down or my feet down, okay? So here I am. I'm going to just shift like I'm gonna sit down, okay? Now, this is my hip replace side. Getting in the floor and getting up out of the floor changes for people with joints replaced. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna act like I'm gonna go down and sit down, but then I don't want to. See that? Okay, that can be a big deal for a lot of us with joints replaced, hip and or knee. So see, I'm gonna go to the other side. And I don't know if you noticed, but my toes are curled under. See that? Because I want to get that added stretch up through the toes. So here I go. See, I'm going to go to the side like I'm going to sit down on this side. So I'm going to go down like this. Oh, and then I say, no, I can't get down. I forgot something. Yeah, you should be real mad at me right now. Right, because I told you I was going to get in the floor and then I didn't. So that is the move. So here I am. I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to put my legs over here as if I was going to sit down on my side. See, I'm going to go to my elbow. Then as soon as I touch, I push into my elbow and come back up. Let me tell you something. If you did nothing else but this move, get down to the floor. I'm going to go to the other side now. I'm going to go to my elbow. I'm going to go down as if I'm going to lay down, and then I go, oh, I forgot something. And then you come back up. I hope you get this move. I'm going to do it about 2 more times on either side. Okay, keep your chin tucked, shoulders down. Take a breath. I'm going to go sit on this side. So I come to the side. I come down, I have to really use my core. I go to my elbow, but then I go, oh no. As soon as my hip touches, I come back up. Then I'm gonna go to the other side. See, I'm moving, shifting, come down to the elbow. I come down, I think, oh, at least a rest. No, you forgot something. You're gonna get back up. That's the move, y'all. That's the move. Burn it into your brain, because I'm telling you, if you did, along with your walking, your gardening, work around your house, you might want to pick a couple of choice stretches. Here I go. I'm going to go to this side. Oh, no, I forgot. I'm going to come back up. See that? Okay. Seriously, this is the last time. Here I go. Down. I'm going to come down to this hip. But if you would burn this one into your brain, and don't be resting down there. I'm doing this with a replaced knee, a replaced hip. Drop your shoulders, take a breath, go to your elbow, turn, act like you're gonna lay down, but then you don't. You come back up. Okay, I'm gonna finish my statement. If you would memorize this, and it's not like it's a move that you're not familiar with. You have gotten down in the floor before, and maybe stayed there and got something done, found something, whatever. But this move, as soon as you touch, you come back into your hands, and then you go to your elbow, and then you take a breath, and you exhale when you're coming up. Very important to exhale when you're coming up, because that's the work. Okay, last time on this side. Down, take a breath, exhale right there, and come back up. Yay. All right. Fists. So I've been down here quite a bit. Some of you might have some discomfort on your wrists. Take a big breath. Drop your shoulders. It's right here. Okay. Now, couple the move I just did with the move I'm going to give you right this minute. If we did it on the chair, and you can be doing this on your chair as I speak, I'm going to tighten it in the stomach. I'm going to drop my shoulders. I'm on my fists. I'm going to squeeze my tummy, and I'm going to act like I'm going to push into my feet and get up, but I don't. That's the move right there. Drop your shoulders, take a breath, and exhale. Bring those knees off the ground, come back. Take a big deep breath. Here we go, drop the shoulders. Push into those toes, bring the knees up, and come back down. Tight tummy, breathing. Drop your shoulders. Here we go. Push, and back down. Breath. Here we go. Push, and back down. So that's the move. Burn it into your brain. It's the act of getting up from the floor, or getting up if you're leaned over on a chair, and then getting back down, acting like you changed your mind. Okay, now moving on. Good job. Let me see where we're at with our time. Okay, we're doing good. Okay, I told you hip and core. We just addressed the core big time, as well as some hip mobility in functional fitness, meaning what I just did is going to help you be able to get up and down. Had you fallen, or you just want to get down and play on the floor with your grandkids. Okay, see what I'm doing right here? Okay, I'm going to bring my knees to the side while I'm sitting up. Okay, you can do all this from the chair if you want to. Perfectly fine. You'll be sitting there, you lean back. That's the key here. If you don't lean back, when you go to move your legs, you're going to round your back. Okay, so I don't want to round my back. I want to keep it really extended as I lean back. So there goes the core kicking in. You're gonna really kick in that core. So see, I'm right here, and I just opened my hip. That's it. Now I'm gonna close my hip. See that? That's a very simple move. You can do it right here. If you sit on the edge of your chair, take a breath, nose. So every time I say, breathe through the nose, you know what I'm saying, right? I'm saying, shut your mouth. You'll breathe through the nose. Okay, open at the hip. This should be kicking. Reasons that you won't feel it here is because you rounded your back. Okay, now push one leg down because you're going to get tired. So you got to give yourself a break. Do you just go into a big rounded back and strain your lower? No, you keep your back extended. You put one leg down, and now you close the hip. See that? And as I close the hip, don't get all freaked out about getting way down there. That's not the point. The point is my shoulders are down. I'm breathing through my nose. My chin is tucked. I'm pulling myself forward into this stretched leg without rounding my back. Then I'm going to push myself back. Then I'm going to switch. Okay? So I've done 3 very basic fundamental moves of getting in the floor and getting up, right? Which involves core strength, which involves working with our hip and many other joints, but especially those. So see what I did slowly? This leg is up. I opened at the hip. Drop my shoulders, breathe through my nose. My back is very extended. I feel the kicking right here. It's contracting. It has to hold me here. See that? And then I'm like, oh man, how long can I hold it here? Give yourself a break. Put your hand here. Take a breath. Don't round your back. Pull forward. Come toward this outstretched leg as if you were going to pull your toe. See that? Yeah, keep your shoulders down. Reach, pull, and then come back. Yes. Okay. Hip mobility. So that's the beginning. So I'm going to let one leg, this is my replaced knee. I'm going to put my hands back here. I can do every one of these from the chair. Okay. You're sitting on a chair, you just sit up to the front, open back, and let one knee drop out to the side. See, this is my okay hip. Well, the one that's getting tight on me. This is my replaced knee. This is my replaced hip. Now, I will reach down and pull this foot back a little bit, put my elbow into my knee here. Say rib cage up, press into that knee, and you're going to feel that stretch through that very, very important adductors right through here and your abductors on the outside. Okay. Abductors, I'm sorry, on the inside, adductors on the outside. Here we go. Then I bring it back up. I know this is my hip replaced side. I'm thinking of Chrissy out there with both hips replaced. Careful on this, right? But see, we can move in these ways and be okay. So this one's up. I'm just going to let this one fall forward and pull my heel in a little. I can push this a little. I don't have to get my knee flat down. I mean, if I did that, my hip would pop out. So, take everything you see on the internet with a grain of salt and put it into your own situation. So I don't push on this one hardly at all. I just barely lay my hand there and pull my heel toward the center, okay? A little. And then you say rib cage up and you hang out here for a little bit. See that? You're letting gravity kind of take over. Okie dokie. So once you've done that, now you put your hands back. If you're on the chair, put your hands back and then you rotate like this. And you don't just go to the side. Okay? So you feel this stretch right? So I'm right here. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to gently lift that hip and get my butt up. And then I'm going to come back down. So it's just a tiny little bit further. So see, I'm right here. Careful on this one. When you go to right here, many of you are going to round your back. So say rib cage up. Drop your knees to the side. See that? Now watch what's going to happen right here. Watch this. Shoulders are down. Take a breath. Go ahead and act like you're going to push yourself up. But you don't really. You just put pressure as if you're going to bring your hip up. So it's much easier for me to do it on the other side than on this side. You're going to find your side that gives you a little bit of a heck. Okay? Here we go. See? Like this. Now I'm going to act like I'm putting pressure in my hands and I'm going to lift my hip. Just a little. This is a mobility move for hips. It's a strengthening move for core. So I'm going to come right there and you put your knee down and you just kind of do a little tiny lift. You just do a few. All right. Big breath. Yeah. So now I'm going to go to the side for sure. So I'm right here on the side. I'm slowly bringing you around so that we can be on a prone position. Now, when I go ahead and go into a full prone position, tummy down, if my tummy's up, that's supine. My tummy's down, it's in a prone position, but I'm not there yet, right? No, I'm not there yet. This is about hip mobility, right? Listen, if you're concerned about your wonky hips, you gotta put some little clam moves in. You got to. That's gonna help you open that hip a little bit, okay? Because you call forth muscles when you just do a gentle lift. Now you can go ahead and lay totally down. You can go ahead and lay down and put your little pillow here and all that stuff. I'm doing it with my elbow down and I'm rotating. And you know why? Because if I keep you on your elbow, it's very difficult for you to roll your whole body back in order to lift your legs. See that? So that right there is a cheater move. Okay. So shoulders down. Okay. So I don't hurt my shoulder. So I'm in good line. Then I stay forward with this hip and I do a clam move. Okay. See that? Now we're going to move it real big here in just a minute. But right now, this clam move, at first, I would say the first probably maybe even 6, maybe 9. If you're doing it correctly, see I'm leaning in, keep your shoulder tucked. It's going to start getting really, really heavy. I know. We just don't think of doing this. You could do this before you get into bed. You could do this as you're going to bed. Okay? You don't have to go fast and hard or anything like that. Take a breath. In through the nose. You know what I'm telling you. Keep your shoulder tucked. I'm telling you, mine's getting heavy right now. Yeah, because I didn't rotate in order to get this hip up, the D up. I'm doing it in a leaned forward position. Makes a big difference. Okie dokie. Take a big breath. In through the nose. Yes. Okay, just 2 more. Just 2 more. Right there. Okay. Before we roll over and bark. That's just a little joke. Before we roll over, we're going to take this hip now. We're going to keep our elbow tucked in. I could be doing this laying down. So if you need to lay down because of a shoulder, that's okay. But you see what I'm going to do? I'm going to reach back with this foot. I'm not lifting it. I'm just reaching back. And then I'm going to stay in my good line right here. So this is a big reach back. Then I'm going to take this hand. I'm going to go very, very open. See that? Tuck your chin. Tuck your chin. Tuck your chin. Tuck your chin. Yeah, tuck your chin. Open. Open, open, palm up. Take a big breath through your nose. Okay, slowly come back right here. Okay, you're going to bring this one up. Okay, we're going to do the other side, and then we're going to be prone. So here I am right here. I'm just going to get my little clammy position. It's a very important one if you've got wonky hips. I wonder if Marilyn's on. I hope you're doing this, Marilyn. And anybody has wonky hips, but especially Marilyn. Okay, shoulder. First of all, see your tendency to just do this. Okay, of course we know that that is a sluggy move, and we don't want to be a slug, right? Even though we are, we don't want to be a super slug. Okay, keep your shoulder tucked. Yeah. Take a big deep breath, and I'm going to lean forward and I'm going to lift. So I'm just going to lift a little bit. So the purpose here is to get weak muscles around the hip, which includes your lower back. It includes some of your leg muscles, especially your deep pelvic muscles. Okay, stay forward. Otherwise, you tend to rotate to get that leg up. I don't want you to rotate. If you're doing this correctly, I am telling you, at about the 6th repetition, you're going to be like, it won't go. It gets heavy. I know it. Then you know you're doing it right. Take a breath. And this is one that many of you just will not take the time to do. But if you complain about your hip in any way, your back in any way, even knee problems, this one you got to do, because this is addressing some muscles that need to be used properly. Okay, don't rotate. Okay, I've got probably, I don't know, 2. I got 2. This is my hip replace side. Whoa, take a breath. Keep your chin, your shoulder in. Okay, take a big deep breath. Should have gotten very heavy. Okay, I'm going to slip this back. This is my hip replace side. I don't have to go way back. That in a move that's very contraindicated for people with, replaced hips. Then I'm going to take this hand. I'm going to make sure my shoulder is tucked. Palm is up, and I'm going to open that chest right there. Woo! All of this. Yeah, you don't have to go back and be a dicey move for a replaced hip. Perfectly fine. Take a breath. Keep your chin tucked. Open, 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 open. Take a big breath through your nose. Think, bring it in slowly. Then you're going to bring this in slowly. Then you're going to go prone position right here. Okay? Now we hit the prone position with your back, your core, and your hips. And how is it going to start? It's going to start by an ankle roll. And I'm telling you, if you do this move that I'm doing right now with your feet, you go out and then you turn and pull your ankles, your heel in. You're going to see if you have a tight hip. It will tell you immediately this little move. And I would love it if you could keep yourself shoulders down, elbows under you, and then roll out with your heel. Try to put your side of your foot on the ground, and now come straight on and then roll in. And I can tell you, my hip that's been giving me little fits, I can tell right now that it's very tight. Okay, not as bad as it was, but I'm going to keep working gently at this rotation. And there's a lot of people that just gloss right over this move and think, oh, that's nothing on the hip or core. And I'm like, you are so not right. Drop your shoulders. So that's why I did a lot of that ankle and footwork at the beginning of this class with those balls. Okay, I was trying to get that foot going because it impacts your hip. You can tell whether or not you have a tight hip if you cannot get your ankles all really close to the ground here. Drop your shoulders, don't bring those shoulders up. Then you can feel the tightness. And I definitely feel the tightness in one of my hips. Take a big deep breath. Then I'm going to bring my elbows out. You're going to put your forehead on your hands. So I'm going to put my forehead right there. I'm going to squeeze my gluteals, really squeeze them. My forehead is on my hands. I'm going to take a big breath. And as I exhale, I'm going to just lift just up a few inches. Keep your toes in contact with the ground and come up, breath. Come up, breath. Come up, breath. Your butt should be super tight. All the way up. Up just a few inches, right there, and then you just come out and hold it there. Keep your chin tucked. Big breath. Exhale, big breath. Exhale, big breath. And down. Put your forehead down. Put it all the way down on the ground or put it on your hands. That'll be fine. Okay, now in this position with your forehead down, and you could be doing all of this on a wall, by the way. If you don't want to get in the floor, you could do that on the wall. You could do it all in your bed. Now, both legs go in the same direction. Forehead is down. Rotate. Forehead is down. Legs are straight. Keep your hips down. The front part of your hips, don't let them roll. Take a breath. Through your nose. Rotate. 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 Be noticing how tight one hip is or the other hip or both hips. Okay, now elbows under. See that? Now I'm going to press into my palms. My elbows are right in line with my shoulder. And I'm going to just push myself up. Now don't tighten your butt. Totally release your gluteals, then come back down. Here's what I do want you to notice. When you're in this position, what's your shoulders doing? Number one. Number two, when I go to press into my palms, notice, are you throwing an elbow out? If you are, don't do that. Because we might call you a slug. Okay, drop your shoulders, but I call you a slug anyway. Because that's what we are most of the time. So see how I'm coming in here? See, I'm just pushing in through my hands as far as I can go with this. Take a big deep breath through the nose. Then put your elbows down. Yes. Big breath. Just do it once or twice. Now, you're going to bring your hip up. Crawl yourself back. Put your butt down as far as you feel you can. Let your feet go all the way down and push your butt back. See, I'm very limited on this anymore because of my knee being replaced and tight. You just come back as far as you can, then you step right here. So now you're on all fours again. And I want you to do a little tiny crawling action. See that? Then I crawl back. And I crawl back. And if you're paying attention, I am telling you this little move, if you keep your spine neutral, your tummy has to work. Your core has to work. Why do you think it's so important for little babies to crawl before they walk? Not only for the brain, but it's for your core development. So it's strong enough to support upright positioning. See, I'm just coming forward and forward just a little bit, but I want to keep my shoulders down. I'm going to keep my breathing through my nose. I do one or two forward, then I do one or two backward. See that? See that? Now, what if you didn't want to get in the floor? If you didn't want to get in the floor, I'll show you in just a minute what I'd be doing to emulate this kind of a crawling. Now, if you need to use your chair to get up, that's fine. Use your chair. I am going to get up independently. Here's my toes curled under. Drop my shoulders. Now tighten your tummy. You're going to bring your knees. We've already practiced this one. Off the floor. Then you're going to come right here and you're going to equalize. You're going to take big deep breaths. Yeah. Big deep breaths through your nose. Then you're going to come up. And then you're going to just go back. And then you're just going to go back. Like you're doing a backstroke. See that? See that? So if I didn't want to get in the floor and I wanted to emulate the cross crawl, let's pretend that this is my wall. I would have my hands on the wall and I would go like this and like this. And I would be pressing against the wall. See that? So I would emulate the cross crawl or crawling, actual crawling, if I didn't want to get in the floor. I'm going to keep encouraging you to get whatever set up to assist you in getting into the floor and back up. One of the biggest reasons to do that is it takes core, it takes hip mobility, and you'll feel better. So I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, you can tell people, oh, we just crawled around.